we might actually be closer than ever to finding out who Lord Ras Master really is. And if this theory is true, it would completely change how we look at Dragons Rising. Because what if Ras Master isn't some ancient villain? What if it's Master Wu, just not the one we know? But before we start, this is just speculation and not leaked info. The characters that most people think could be Ras Master are the Overlord, Sarkar, the Sorcerer of Strength, and an alternative psycho version of Wu. And what's interesting is that even the rumors themselves seem to point towards this idea of an alternative cycle. But let's break this down. Ever since Season 2, something has felt intentionally in the writing of Ninjago Dragons Rising. It's not made too obvious, but it's building towards it. In Season 2, Episode 3, Beyond the Fantasm Cave, inside the cave, the ninja face their greatest fears. At first, it seems like a simple mental test, but several of those fears end up reflecting real events. In Nia's vision, she finds Shay and he does not remember her, and that exact situation happens later during the Tournament of the Sources, when Jay generally has no idea who she is. In Eren's vision, he sees his parents, and fears never seeing them again, and for a time, he truly believes they are gone. In Sora's vision, she sees Beatrix returning, which could happen in future events. So if multiple visions in the Fantasm Cave connect directly to the real outcomes, then Lloyd's vision cannot just be called a fear. In Lloyd's vision, he sees Master Wu telling him that the team needed strong leadership, but did not receive it, that the ninja are lost because of Lloyd, and Ras appears behind Wu. On the surface, it looks like Lloyd's fear of failing Wu, but considering how the other visions played out, this could be something more. What if this was not just a fear, but a vision of something that could happen later on? This is where the alternate cycle theory becomes important. The idea is that reality in Dragons Rising may function in cycles that can be reset when balance collapses, possibly by the Source Dragons. If that's true, then what if in a previous cycle the roles were reversed? Instead of Garmadon falling to darkness, Wu did. Master Wu becomes the Lord of Destruction. Garmadon becomes the Balanced One, and Lloyd tries to follow his father's light. But Wu manipulates him, everything is flipped, and in that world, the ninja fail. They cannot stop Wu from reshaping the world into his image. When things get out of control, the Source Dragons erase that cycle entirely. If that previous cycle was collapsing and corrupted Wu knew it was ending, what if he chose someone to carry his goal into the next one? Someone who could believe strength was everything, Lord Ras. Ras constantly talks about strength, power and weakness being unacceptable. He holds the dragon icon of strength and has it since Season 1. That mindset feels taught. It feels like something passed down from someone who values power above balance. Ras has also stated that the ninja did not save his world. That line becomes much more powerful. If he is referring to a previous cycle, if the ninja failed to stop corrupted Wu, and the Source Dragons erase everything, Ras would grow up believing both sides failed him. That explains his hatred toward the ninja and the dragons. Now let's bring the rumors back into this. One possibility is Sarkar. Sarkar won the Tournament of the Sources many years ago, making him an extremely powerful elemental master. He is also the ancestor of Lord Ras, and are in the same tiger tribe. But the issue is that it might be too obvious. Sarkar being Ras' master would make sense, but it would not feel like a big plot twist. Another option is that Ras' master is a Source Dragon. The way Ras communicates with his master feels similar to how Lloyd was summoned to the Source Dragon Council. The Source Dragon of Strength especially lines up with Ras' obsession with power, and even Thunderfang described its dragon as self-obsessed. Ras carries the dragon icon of strength, which he gave him like the sword dragon of motion gave hers to Lloyd. But it's also expected, and also not the biggest plot twist. Then we get to an alternative cycle Lloyd, with enemy Lloyd appearing in season 4. The idea of an alternative version of Lloyd entering the story feels like one of the biggest plot twists they could do. An alternative Lloyd could absolutely work as Ras Master. Different cycles have only been mentioned once, and that was at the end of Dragon's Rising Season 3, so it's still early to say how different cycles end and work. But if a corrupted Wu survived the destruction of a previous cycle and carried his plan forward, he would have the knowledge, the power and the motivation to manipulate Ras. That would connect to the Fantasm Cave vision. There is also the flashback showing a younger Ras. We assume it belongs to this timeline, but it could be easily from this destroyed cycle. He would be witnessing the collapse of his world, or being taken in by corrupted Wu during that chaos. There is still one major problem with this theory. Why would Ras serve Wu if Wu destroyed his world? The simplest answer is that Ras does not know the truth. If corrupted Wu blamed the Source Dragons or twisted the narrative, Ras could have been manipulated from the beginning. He would dedicate himself to revenge based on a lie. That would make Ras far more than just a villain. He would be a survivor of a destroyed reality. And even the energy that we see coming from Ras Master has a color that looks very similar to Wu's energy. When Ras communicates with his master, the environment around him fills with a golden yellow light that closely resembles the energy often associated with Master Wu. We see similar energy when Ras is summoned into the strange void, where he speaks with his master, and again when the Shadow Dojo is suddenly teleported to another realm. That same golden energy has been connected to Wu and the power of creation throughout Ninjago. While that does not automatically prove that Wu is Ras' master, it is an interesting visual detail that the show could be intentionally hinting at. This theory is based on parts of other theories and still has a lot of problems. If Season 4 even hints at an alternative cycle being central to the story, we might finally be close to discovering who Ras' master truly is. And if it turns out to be a fallen version of Master Wu from a previous cycle, then Dragon's Rising is setting up one of the darkest and ambitious twists the series has ever attempted. We don't have a lot of info yet, so it might not happen, but if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.